Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now one more thing. The link of this Telegram channel is given in description and revision PDF are uploaded on this Telegram channel. So please check it from there. Now let's start. We are going to cover important news events. So first is Edison Alliance. Edison stands for Essential Digital Infrastructure and Services Network. So this is an alliance which has been launched by WEF, that is World Economic Forum, to reduce the digital divide. Digital divide means there is a divide between those who can access the technology and who cannot access the technology. So to fill this gap, this alliance has been launched by World Economic Forum and it will be chaired by, that means this alliance will be chaired by Hans Vestberg. Hans Vestberg is the CEO of Verizon. WEF is World Economic Forum. Next is Ranji Trophy. So it is a domestic cricket tournament. It is organized by BCCI and it is organized since 1934-35. Now for the first time in the history, this tournament will not be organized this year because of coronavirus issue. Next is also related to cricket. So BCCI Secretary Jai Shah has been appointed as the new president of Asian Cricket Council. Actually, he has been elected as the new president of Asian Cricket Council. Asian Cricket Council organize Asian Cup tournaments. Next is related to STARS project. So what is the full form of STARS? It is Strengthening Teaching, Learning and Results for the States program. So for this program, World Bank is providing financial support and this is a program for school education. That means to improve the quality of school education. So Ministry of Education has collaborated with World Bank for this program. Next is Chorichora Incident. So it is a name of place in Uttar Pradesh. And during the non-cooperation movement on 4th of February in 1922, Indian people clashed with Britishers. And on this occasion, that means on the completion of 100 years, actually 100 years will be in 2022. So on the completion of 100 years, a centenary event will be started and it will start from 4th February 2021 and it will go on till 2020. So 1 year event will go on. That is why this Chorichora incident was in use. And because of the violence in this incident, Mahatma Gandhi stopped the non-cooperation movement on 12th of February. So couple of dates are important. On 4th of February, the violence started and then on 12th of February, Mahatma Gandhi ended non-cooperation movement. Next event is related to Bharti Airtel. So it is the first telecom operator in our country to demonstrate 5G services. Recently, they started these 5G services in Hyderabad city for trial basis. Last is related to UNWTO, that is United Nations World Tourism Organization. So as per this organization report, 2020 was worst year on record for tourism sector. Why? Because of coronavirus, and because of coronavirus, the international arrivals dropped by 74%. So these were the most important news events. Now test. First question is Govind Vallabh Pant, who was in news recently, was the first chief minister of which state? Second question is National Non-Communicable Disease Monitoring Survey was released recently. It was conducted during which year? Third question is what is melatonin? Fourth question is Rafale fighter jets are manufactured in which country? Fifth question is Davos dialogue, which was in news recently, pertains to which organization? And last question is in which country the Mount Merapi is located? Indian Coast Guard. So on 1st of February, it celebrated its Raising Day. This was 45th Raising Day. Indian Coast Guard is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. Next is ASEAN India Hackathon. So this was organized by Ministry of Education. ASEAN is an association of 10 Asian countries and the short form for that is BPLTV MMICS. Next is Arun Hydropower Project. So this is related to Nepal. Recently, Nepal awarded this project to Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam of India. This is a hydropower project. Next is India Justice Report. So this report is prepared by Tata Trust. As per this report, Maharashtra is on top position in justice delivery. So this was the second edition of this report. Maharashtra is on top position and it is followed by Tamil Nadu and Telangana. Next is India International Silk Fair. So this silk fair was organized by India's Silk Export Promotion Council. This is under Textiles Ministry. Now this is India's biggest silk fair, and this silk fair was organized by this India Silk Export Promotion Council, and Commerce Ministry sponsored this. Now please note that India is the only country where all the 4 major varieties of silk are produced. What are these 4 major varieties of silk? This is Mulberry, Ari, Tussar and Muga. So these are the varieties of silk, and all these 4 varieties are produced in our country. Next is related to Niti Aayog. So recently Niti Aayog released a vision document for the sustainable development of Little Andaman Island. Next is related to Paul Crutzen. So he was the Dutch chemist and he passed away recently. He won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1995. Now he was the one who warned about ozone hole. Now for the protection of ozone, there is a Vienna Convention and there is a Montreal Protocol. The formula of ozone is O3. Next is related to 15th Finance Commission. So recently 15th Finance Commission submitted its final report. Finance Commission is a constitutional body. It is constituted as per the provisions of Article 280. This was 15th Finance Commission. Chairperson of this Finance Commission was Mr. N.K. Singh. Now this 15th Finance Commission recommended the vertical devolution of 41%. Vertical devolution means devolution of financial resources from central government to different states. Last news is related to DICGC, that is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. So why this DICGC was in news? Because recently RBI cancelled the license of Shivam Sehkari Bank. This is a Kolhapur based bank. Kolhapur is in Maharashtra. Now since license has been cancelled, so now depositors will be given the money as per the provisions of DICGC, that is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. Now answer in comment box how much amount is insured as per DICGC. Online Shooting Championship. So this was the first Asian Online Shooting Championship. It was organized by Kuwait Shooting Federation, and in this federation event, India won the highest number of medals. The event was organized by Kuwait Shooting Federation and it was first Asian Online Shooting Championship. Next is related to Neptune Declaration. So this Neptune Declaration is related to the welfare of seafarers. Who are seafarers? These are the people who are employed by the ship owner to do the ship service. Next is Mitra Scheme. So what is the full form of Mitra Scheme? It stands for Mega Investment Textiles Park. So if you know the full form, it is self-explanatory that it is related to textile sector. The objective is to make our textile industry globally competitive with the help of these textile parks. Next is special visa route for Hong Kong residents. So UK, that is United Kingdom, has proposed special visa route. That means now UK will provide special facilities to the residents of Hong Kong so that they get an opportunity to become the citizens of UK. Next is related to CPTPP. Actually, initially it was TPP, that is Trans-Pacific Partnership. Then US left it. Then the remaining countries signed this CPTPP. It stands for Comprehensive and Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership. Recently, UK announced that it is going to join this partnership. Next is related to Hansen's disease. So Hansen's disease is the name of leprosy. And every year on last Sunday of January, this Leprosy Day is observed to spread awareness. However, in our country, it is observed on 30th of January on the death anniversary of Gandhiji. Now please note that as per WHO, that is World Health Organization, India has the highest number of new leprosy cases annually. Next is Bhavya Lal. So Bhavya Lal is Indo-American scientist. Recently, Bhavya Lal has been appointed by NASA as acting chief of staff. NASA is the space agency of USA. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Next is Henry Moniz. So Henry Moniz has been appointed as the first Chief Compliance Officer by the Facebook. Since he is the first such officer, therefore it is important from exam perspective. Next is Anish Shah. So he has been appointed as the new chairperson of Mahindra Finance. Next is Mr. Rama Mohan Rao. So he has been appointed as the MD and CEO of SBI Card. Next is related to World Test Championship. So the final of this championship will be played in Lord's Cricket Ground and it is in England. Next is related to BCCI. So BCCI announced that it is going to organize Vijay Hazare Trophy in place of Ranji Trophy this year. There's one more news related to cricket, and it is Syed Mustaq Ali T20 trophy. So Tamil Nadu won this trophy by beating Baroda. Recently, Tamil Nadu was also in news because of its new industrial policy. Next is World Wetlands Day. So every year on 2nd of February, this World Wetlands Day is observed. Theme of this year was wetlands and water. Now please note that on 2nd of February, we celebrate World Wetlands Day because on 2nd of February in 1971, the Ramsar Convention was signed. Ramsar Convention is related to wetland protection. And this time, it is very, very significant from exam perspective because this convention is completing its 50 years. Now, as of now, in our country, there are 42 Ramsar sites. The latest entry is Sokar Lake and it is in Ladakh. Next is Sandro Botticelli. So Sandro Botticelli was an Italian painter. Recently, he was in news because his rare portrait was sold for $92.2 million. And this is a portrait of young man holding a roundel. So the only thing that you need to remember is Sandro Botticelli is an Italian painter. National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management. The center is in Chennai. Why it was in news? Because it is going to be our first center for wetland conservation and management. That means first center of India. And this institution is under MOEFCC, that is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Next is Ford Google. So recently Ford and Google decided to cooperate in the field of cloud services and artificial intelligence. Next is Adi Mahotsav. So it is a national tribal festival. Recently it was inaugurated by our Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Now recently former Vice President M. Hamid Ansari was also in news because of his book, and it is by many a happy incident. Apart from this book, few other books were in news. One is Unscripted. So it is a book by Vidhu Vinod Chopra, and it is a book based on his conversation with Abhijit Joshi. Next is The Little Book of Encouragement. So this is a book by Dalai Lama. Next is Mandatory Bargaining Code. So recently this code was in news. It is related to Australia. Actually, Australia created a mandatory bargaining code. As per this code, the companies like Facebook and Google will have to pay to the news outlets or media companies for using their news reports. And that is why, that means Google is not happy with this decision, and that is why Google has even threatened to shut down its search services in Australia. Next is Alert Being Awards 2020. So recently A.R. Rahman and social activist S. Hari Krishnan was selected for this award. A.R. Rahman is music composer and S. Hari Krishnan is social activist. This award was given by NGO Alert. Next is Maya Robo. So it is a new robot. Name of robot is Maya. It has been developed by the students of KLE Technological University. This is in Karnataka. And the unique thing about this robot is that it has been programmed to serve in the banks. That means it is going to respond to your questions in the bank, and it is capable of speaking many regional languages. So now with the help of this robot, you can get the answer of the questions in regional language. Next is Merv Hughes. So recently he has been included in the Australian Cricket Hall of Fame. Next is Vaccination Day. So on 30th of January, the polio immunization drive was conducted, and on this occasion 89 lakh children were given the vaccination dose. Next is East Container Terminal. So recently Sri Lanka was in news because of this East Container Terminal. Actually in 2019, Sri Lanka, India and Japan signed an agreement for the development of East Container Terminal at Colombo Port. Now Sri Lanka is saying that we do not want to partner with any foreign country for this project. That is why it was in news. Next is Atmanirbharta, that means self-reliance. So it has been included as the Oxford Hindi Word of the Year 2020. Next is Andres Antonsen. So recently Badminton World Tour was organized in Bangkok, and in men's single category Andres Antonsen won the tournament. Andres Antonsen is from Denmark. M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. This is in Chepauk in Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Why it was in news? Because India is going to host the first international test match amid COVID-19. So this is first test match hosted by India in this pandemic situation. That's why it is in news. Next is EESL, that is Energy Efficiency Services Limited. So EESL has signed agreement with Coal India, and now EESL is going to help Coal India to reduce its carbon footprint. Carbon footprint means to reduce the emission of carbon. Next is world's first consignment of carbon neutral oil. So recently Reliance got the world's first consignment of carbon neutral oil from USA. Next is Human Milk Bank. So Kerala's first Human Milk Bank has been started at Ernakulam General Hospital. Please note that Asia's first Human Milk Bank was established in Mumbai, and this was established in 1989. Next is Swachh Delhi. So this is an awareness campaign by the Delhi government to make people aware about the benefits of electric vehicles. As per the policy launched by the Delhi government, the target is to have 25% of all vehicles in Delhi as electric vehicles by 2024. Next is Har Ghar Pani, Har Ghar Safai. So this is an initiative by the Punjab government. Objective is to promote sanitation and to provide piped drinking water. In this context, recently, Union government also announced Jal Jeevan Mission urban component. Next is Govardhan. So recently, a portal has been launched for monitoring the Govardhan activities across the nation. This portal has been launched by Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Dharmendra Pradhan, who is our Petroleum Minister, and Giriraj Singh, who is Minister of Animal Husbandry, and Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. So what is the objective of this portal? Objective is to support the villages in proper management of their cattle waste. Next is Ashok Dinda. So he is cricketer. Recently he announced his retirement. Next is Andy Jassy. So he is going to be the next CEO of Amazon, as recently Jeff Bezos decided to step down. Next is Praveen Sinha. So he has been appointed as the interim director of CBI. CBI is Central Bureau of Investigation. CBI represents India in Interpol. Interpol is International Police. Headquarters is in Lyon in France. Next is Aisa Aziz. So she is India's youngest female pilot. Next is Ajay Singh. So he was in news because he has been re-elected as the president of Boxing Federation of India. Next is Democracy Index. So this has been released by EIU, that is Economic Intelligence Unit. Headquarters is in London. As per the recent report, or as per the recent index, India's ranking is 53. India slipped 2 places as compared to last index. Next is S.N. Subramanian. So recently he has been appointed as the chairperson of National Safety Council, and he is the CEO and MD of L&T. Next is Lieutenant General C.P. Mohanty. So he is going to be the next Vice Chief of Army Staff. Recently he assumed his charge. Next is Kapila Program. So it stands for Kalam Program for Intellectual Property Literacy and Awareness Campaign. So recently this program was in news because of a question in Parliament, and that's why this was in news. Actually, it is an old program which was launched on 15th of October in 2020, and it is named after our former President Dr. Kalam, and it is related to the awareness about intellectual property. Next is related to China Global Television Networks, that is CGTN. So recently, UK revoked the license of this channel to air its programs in UK. UK is United Kingdom, and the broadcasting regulator of UK is Ofcom. So recently it revoked, that means it suspended or cancelled the license of this China Global Television Networks. Next is International Day of Human Fraternity. So this is on 4th of February. 4th of February is also observed as World Cancer Day. So the theme of International Day of Human Fraternity is a pathway to the future. The theme of World Cancer Day was I am and I will. Actually this theme is from 2019 to 2021. So for this time period, this is the theme. These were the most important news events. Now test. First question is Har Ghar Pani Har Ghar Safai mission has been launched in which Indian state or union territory? Second question is who has taken charge as the Vice Chief of Army Staff in India? Third question is Mitra Scheme is related to which sector? Fourth question is Adi Mahotsav is an initiative of which union ministry? Fifth question is which country has announced that it will formally apply for the Trans-Pacific Trade Association, and it is CPTPP. Next question is the ASEAN India Hackathon is an initiative by which union ministry? Seventh question is Indo-American Bhavya Lal has been appointed as the acting chief of staff of which organization? Eighth question is who is the author of book titled The Little Book of Encouragement? And ninth question is which word is selected as the Oxford Hindi Word of 2020? And 10th question is who has been appointed as the new MD of LIC. Now these questions are already covered in our videos. So if you are not able to score more than 6, that means you are not revising properly. So that was all for the day. Thank you. Risk-based internal audit, that is RBIA. So recently Reserve Bank of India launched this risk-based internal audit system for non-banking institutions and for urban cooperative banks. So as per the new notification by Reserve Bank of India, all the deposit taking NBFC, that is non-banking finance companies, plus the NBFC with an asset size of 5,000 crores will have to follow the system apart from the urban cooperative banks with an asset over 500 crore rupees. So in simplest term, this is for NBFCs, those NBFC who take deposit, plus those NBFC whose worth is above 5,000 crore, plus it is for those urban cooperative banks whose asset size is 500 crore rupees. Next is Yudh Abhyas. So it is a joint military exercise between India and USA, and this time it will be conducted on Indo-Pakistan border. Next is Amit Khare. So recently Education Ministry constituted a task force to provide technical education in mother tongue, and this task force is headed by Mr. Amit Khare. Next is Sridhar Vembu. So the founder of Joho, Sridhar Vembu, has been appointed as the member of National Security Advisory Board, and this board is headed by our NSA, that is National Security Advisor. Who is our present NSA? He is Mr. Ajit Dobhal. Next is related to MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. So recently it released a mobile application, and the name of application is Locate Nearest Police Station. So this application will help user to locate the nearest police station. Next is a collaboration between Aviatech Enterprises and MIG. MIG is an entity of Russia. This Aviatech Enterprises has partnered with this MIG, and as per this agreement, MIG will provide the post-warranty support for Indian Navy's MiG-29K and MiG-29KUB fighter jets. Next is no permission, no takeoff. So this is a policy related to drones. In simplest terms, when you have to fly drone, you need prior approval from the authorities. So there are different zones. For example, green zone. In these areas, you can fly. You just need to inform the authorities about the timing of that flight. That means you can fly drone after informing them properly. In red zones, it is not allowed. And in yellow zones, you first need prior approval. That means you need prior approval. And if they approve, you can fly drones. In red zone, the permission will not be given in any circumstance because these are highly secure areas. For example, you can consider the area near Parliament or near Supreme Court. So these are highly secure areas. Now recently it was in news because as of now we have 32 green zones. So please remember this term, no permission, no takeoff. The term is self-explanatory. Next is related to cancer. So recently Cancer Day was observed, and recently World Health Organization announced that breast cancer is now the world's most commonly diagnosed cancer. Previously it was lung cancer, but now breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer. Next is Ghaznavi. So it is a missile system of Pakistan. It is a nuclear capable missile system. Next is Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. So his birth anniversary is on 4th of Feb. He is considered as the Tansen of India. Pandit Bhimsen Joshi was a vocalist from Karnataka. Recently he was in news because a centenary celebrations event was organized. Centenary means 100 years. So now the year-long birth centenary celebrations of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi started from 4th of February. And last news is related to Maharashtra government. So Maharashtra government launched a new policy, and under this policy it is going to help startup companies to assist them or to help them in filing IT patents. So that was all for the day. Thank you.